play the video before the. All right, you ready?
Go
Hold
for it.
on. Hold on. We are. It's not sure what live right now. Here we go. What is up, guys? What is all right, here we go. What is up, guys? How is everybody doing today? It is your boy Jake, yet again, stepping into the air chair with Sean DT Kelly. Sean, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Appreciate you having me on, and we're
Sean,
gonna have a wonderful podcast. But I work for StackUp.org, so we are a 501c3 nonprofit charity. We focus on veterans' mental health and suicide prevention, and we do all of that through gaming and geek culture. So my job is as an influence relations manager is to work with people like yourself or other content creators to get them set up to do charity fundraising, as well as being an advocate and someone who can educate about the programs that we do, on top of being a veteran myself and being able to relate that. And that's me in a nutshell.
Stack Up Hype. Hey, DT. And hello,
Those are some of our stack up folks in there.
yeah, what's up, guys? Guys, I want to play this video that before we get started, I want to play this video for you guys if you don't mind. For them, you ready? It's
Go
like a
for it.
2-minute video.
The war had just started when I arrived to Iraq. We did our thing, we had some experiences, and when we came back, when we got off that plane, before we can even embrace our loved ones, our fire team leader says, do not tell anybody what happened to you, or what you saw, or what you experienced, or you will probably lose your job. A lot of folks who really don't understand mental health see it as a weakness. We always jokingly said, suck it up and press on. You wear a beret for a reason. This mindset that we can't be vulnerable, we can't have emotions, we can't experience them, let alone process them in a healthy manner, that starts the stigma of mental health.
StackUp is a military charity supporting U.S. and allied veterans' mental health through gaming. Before we were sending Xboxes to Afghanistan, we were helping out, we were raising morale, but now we're actively saving people's lives.
If you want to do an accreditation program, it's kind of helpful.
Overwatch is our newest program, and it is simply having a chat client up 24/7. Someone is sitting there monitoring the channel, and if somebody comes in and says they need to talk or they're interested to get into a game or something, we have somebody available for them.
In most cases, when a person is expressing suicidal intentions, if you can talk to that person for that first critical couple of minutes, more often than not, they will not kill themselves. And that's what we do. They may not want to come out there and see a counselor for an hour, once a week, but they may come out there and play a video game and start talking about their experiences of war or the struggles that they're having right now. It has become my passion to end the stigma of mental health.
All right, that was a good video. By the way, I had to close that door during that video. So yeah, Sean saw me without my headphones. You saw me with the head without the headphones.
I missed it.
The only could see you.
I missed it.
Yeah.
I can only see the video.
Yeah. I wanna also say, yeah. By the way, thank you for your service, my brother. Thank you.
Appreciate that, man.
What branch, if you don't mind?
I was in the Army. So I served in the Army, joined in 1995 as an artilleryman, blowing stuff up for a few years, and then I transitioned to intelligence and counterterrorism for the rest of my career. So that was me.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah. By the way, you told me this on the pregame when we were pregaming this, when we were you guys are a 420 company, a 420.
Yeah, you had asked about somebody that you had worked with before. Our organization is 420 friendly, in large part. We were in California. There happens to be dispensaries out that way. We do know that there's a lot of benefit to medicinal marijuana, folks, especially with veterans who are seeking assistance outside of common SSRIs or other drugs, as well as opioids for pain management. So we consider ourselves 420 friendly. It's something that we're unashamed of, just because we know that there's benefit added to that.
Yeah. And guys, if you guys, anybody that comes to this video live or not live, in the description, if you guys want to donate to Stack Up, it's in the link. A link is in the description of this video. Because we're on YouTube, and by the way,
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
I told you. I set this up. I sent you the link. It's YouTube.
I'm kidding with you, man. I'm kidding with you.
Because I got if I wanted to do both YouTube and Twitch, I would have to get the paid version of StreamYard, and that's $25 that I don't have to spend on. Yeah, so I tell people that say, they are used to using like Restream or all this stuff. The reason I use reason why I only have one place on StreamYard is because I have to get the paid version. Gotcha. DD's got jokes. Ha ha ha.
I think I'm funny, Jake. Sometimes I think I'm funny.
I was reading a comment. Coin Applier said that.
Yeah.
I was reading. Yeah.
Appreciate your support, guys.
Are you guys going to be at TwitchCon this year?
Yes. So the answer to that question is yes. We are going to be at TwitchCon. We will be at. There's a little charity nook that's going to have a couple of charities in it. So it's sponsored by Donor Drive, we were talking. That's one of the platforms that we use for fundraising. But we'll be at a booth there, and we'll be there in large force. All three of myself, Perky Daisy, Alicia Smith, and Christy Taters Bowman will all be out there looking for content creators and trying to find folks from Twitch.
Yeah. I wanna say this, like, I remember your interview with Reanimate Her. I remember that. I remember watching that over on. Hold on, I gotta see. Mixer.
It was, yeah. That was before the big Mixer fall.
Yeah. And by the way, I love that your video had Facebook Gaming in it.
Mm-hmm. That video that you played was actually sponsored by Facebook Gaming.
Yeah.
I think they actually filmed it for us. That was for the Global Gaming Citizen Award that we were presented in 2019 at the Game Awards.
Congratulations.
We're very proud of that. It's part of our. It talks mainly to our Stack Up Overwatch program. It's our suicide prevention crisis intervention program that we have, and that program has trained volunteers that are HIPAA certified, that are there to triage people that are in crisis. They can pop into that board and they can say, "Hey, my name is Sean. I'm not having a great day right now. I'd really like to talk to somebody." And they'll pull them in. They'll help triage them, talk them through what they're going through, and find them some local resources. So that's where that video was mainly focused on. It was the stigma of mental health specifically.
Yeah. Also, you guys, we talked about this before. We talked about this when I set the interview up when we talked on Friday about you guys are doing. It's not just PlayStation or Xbox. It's other games you guys are sending in these crates.
Yeah, so it depends on what somebody's asking for, because a lot of people will say, well, I like a lot of the games that are on Xbox or PlayStation or Switch, and so it'll be an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Switch. But sometimes people ask for other things like tabletop games, Dungeons and Dragons, card games, things like that. And so we'll put together crates like that in some cases, as well as we also do custom PCs for veterans that operate in the same way as that crate, only it's a custom built PC that veteran can use to play PC games go to college, work from home. I mean, literally whatever they need it for.
Yeah. By the way, everybody says, "Oh, you need a PC, a big PC to run." I'm running this on a laptop. I stream on a laptop in a bathroom smaller than a studio. My bathroom is my studio.
I'm madly impressed that you've got your channel going with a laptop. That's something that a lot of people don't even attempt to do. So I'm madly impressed that happens.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I took care of my dad when my dad was still alive. I was a caregiver to him, and he was a heart patient on oxygen. He was a diabetic, and we had to watch what he eats. I lost sleep because it was like dealing with a child.
Yeah.
Sorry, no offense.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, I know that's got to be challenging. I understand that.
Hold on, someone's calling. Hold on, my friend doesn't know that I'm live. Give me 1 minute.
You bet. And then there was just us. Coin and E, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate that support. So, how's it going? It's going well. Jake had a phone call.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Sorry about that. My friend was like, I've been dealing with a radio station out of Minnesota that is running my name through a grinder. And not that website for those people. You know what website I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm actually going to be moving. I'm gonna go and sit down in another place because I can run it on battery. I can run this on battery. This is, by the way, you're actually going to see. This is my house, by the way. Sorry.
The domicile.
He said bugs are eat. I'm not gonna. Salty Nos. Is I'm saying that right?
Seriously, seriously, Nas.
Yeah, I could actually do it from right here, crossing the line. I'm actually. Sorry if I'm like sitting down right now doing this.
No, be comfortable, man.
That chairs. I don't know how these gamers can run gaming chairs.
They're good for your back. Well, they're good for your back for sure.
Yeah.
Got a little pillow back here. It works out real well.
Guys, I just want to say that this is actually going to be a fun interview talking to something that I do support. And I'm going to say this straight up, if you guys are watching this live or not live and you guys want to donate to Stack Up, links in the description. My link is down in the description for Stack Up. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
No, you're good.
Guys, if anything that I just want to say that this is basically, I have family that was in the military. See my light?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also I have live.
Shine bright like a diamond, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that? Since I know we're supposed to be talking about Stack Up, but this is a serious thing. Twitch came out about Twitch gambling rules. They had an update on their rules about gambling on the site. They banned 4 sites.
Yeah, I know that they did that. I'm not sure what I wasn't following the impetus and the fanfare around gambling. Gambling, I know, has been a thing on Twitch for a while.
Yeah.
I think the biggest part was a long time ago. There was different CS skins and different skins for different games that were being gambled by kids under the age of 18, and they were getting credit cards, and so I know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about it since then. So this new whatever this current drama is with gambling on Twitch, I'm not aware of. I'm not into.
Yeah. The one thing that people who, you have people like XQC, you have people that are doing gambling streams, and they're running these websites. Now that website is going to be. Here's the thing: there's other websites they could go to for legal gambling, like BetUS, a sponsor of a guy about someone who Aaron. Let me see what happened. I'm dealing with a guy in Minnesota by the name of Aaron M. Holt. He is basically saying that that bugs are eating my dead father.
Yikes. That seems not okay for somebody to say.
I'm trying to have a nice interview, and
I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. That's
it's
not
like
okay.
it's like people who this guy Aaron was also talking about Dave's fiance is pregnant and telling her to get an abortion. Gabby 21. Yeah, this girl right here is pregnant with his kid, and Aaron is like saying Aaron M. Holt from Steel Toe Morning Show is saying to get an abortion.
To this person that you know?
Who the person that which one? The one that they're telling about abortion, or I'm sorry for bringing this up. Don't let them.
She's saying don't let them bother you. She's like you're good, man. We could just focus on us, and we're talking about what we're doing and stack up and everything else. So
yeah.
But
how long
do you have trolls that are? Is that what's happening?
I have trolls, and this guy Aaron M. Holt is a former Twitch partner who got banned because he was doing. We don't know why he got banned on Twitch, and I'll tell you about it later off camera. I'll tell you about it off when we get done, because I am derailing this interview.
You're fine. You're good to go.
What do you think about how long has Stack Up been part of the Streaming Spear?
Okay, so that's it's not a complicated question, but it's been about 7 years. We're in our 7th year operating as Stack Up. Our executive director has been doing this veterans charity game for probably 11 or so of those years. But that is Stack Up 7 years old this year. So we're calling this Call to Arms 7 this fall. We like to say Veterans Day is our birthday. So that's kind of where we focus, our fall efforts. But yeah, 7 years, started by Steven Machuga, who's our executive director. I'll tell you a funny story. He was deployed to Iraq a year after I was, and he was an infantry, ranger. He's an airborne ranger. He's an infantry guy out there, and he carried with him a Nintendo DS, those old small, portables, and he carried that with him when he was in Iraq. But they were sent. His unit was sent a box of romance novels. And to Goodwill, they well intended, and they were all confused because they didn't know why they got romance novels. But it was meant to help them. It was meant to be something to read and to not think about the horrors of war or the stress of being in combat. But that wasn't really what they needed at the time. So they took them out to the range and they shot at them for target practice. But when Steven came home, he realized that what veterans really needed was something that was a little bit more beneficial than a romance novel, but perhaps something that was engaging, and video games was it. And so that's how he came up with his first supply crate that he sent over to Iraq.
Can I ask you this question? The guy asked a question.
Dave?
Can you ask him? Yeah, if 9/11 inspired him to join, But
Oh, I was already in. I was already in the Army when 9/11 happened. I was on duty. I'd been in the
Yeah.
Army for about 6 years at that point when 9/11 happened. So
Yeah.
I'm a little older than I look.
what was your motivation to join the army, join the military?
Honestly, was to kind of get out. Part of it was money for college. I think that a lot of at the time I was living in the south side of Chicago. Things were really bad. The outlook of me staying in Chicago wasn't real good. A lot of my friends were into gang activity. I lost people before I left high school. I lost people to gang violence, and I needed to get out of where I was in south side of Chicago and try to find a way into college or something else. And once I joined the military, I stayed, and I decided to go into intelligence and counterterrorism after a few years,
Yeah.
and that became my career.
By the way, I made the I made your friends moderators.
Oh, you did,
I made her made that's a moderator.
Mrs. E and Coin.
Yeah, and I do, and
And seriously, Nas.
yeah,
Nas actually was my first moderator, as my head moderator for my Twitch channel when I first started streaming.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was that. I've known him for many years.
Yeah, the reason I'm giving people moderator is, I have moderators that love to go in and shoot first and ask questions later. When we say shoot, we mean ban the person and then ask me if it's okay.
Oh,
But and I'm sorry about that. I'm not trying to. Jake, your act. Jake,
you're good, man.
ruining it.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much right now: Coin and Mrs. E, both of them are streamers. They know all about this stuff. They know all about the being live and what it takes and all of
Yeah.
that. So they're definitely there. So they said they're happy to help out.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Doing stuff live, we can't go back and cut this or record this again because we're live.
That's why you got to do it right the first time, every time.
Yeah.
Why do you think I spent so much time on my beard, Jake? I
My-
needed to get pretty for your show.
You also said you had a meeting at like 2:00. Yeah, you had a meeting.
No, you were my meeting at 2:00. My 2:00 anyway.
No, you had a meeting before this.
Oh, I did, but I didn't need my beard for that because that one wasn't on camera. I just needed it for this one.
He wants me to ask you about Howard Stern. If you ever watched that guy.
I couldn't even possibly begin to answer. I don't know anything about
Don't
Beetlejuice and
prove-
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern is a radio guy from New York.
I know who he is. I don't know anything about those two things together.
Yeah. First try, can't prove otherwise. Coin said
That's right.
that.
That's right. Get it right on the first try.
First
Well,
try,
did you want to
Sorry.
ask a couple? Did you want to ask a couple questions about Stack Up specifically and some of the things that we do?
There's that I heard about something about suicide prevention or like
Mhm.
the suicide. I forgot what you named it, like stop or not
Mhm.
stop.
Yeah, stop. That's correct. Yeah, Stack Up Overwatch program. And
Or
that's the one
is it-
that's the one that the video that you played in the beginning that was specifically kind of referencing the stop program.
Sorry, I have a question. In particular, Craig. What was your favorite or unique one that really sticks out in your mind?
That is a great question. Thank you, Coin. So we send these supply crates out, and we send them to veterans that are deployed to combat zones or just overseas, stationed overseas, underway at sea, as well as veterans that are at home after service. And we got a request that was from a spouse that wanted to request a supply crate for her her husband, who she knew was hurting and was not able to connect with family and his kids very easily. One of the things about being in the military is you tend to lose sight of, or you tend to forget that military folks often miss things like birthdays and births and weddings and deaths in their family. And so when they come out of the military, they're trying to reconnect, and it's very difficult because they've missed so much a lot of times.
Yeah.
In this particular case, he'd missed a lot of his kids kind of growing up with his being gone. And so when we gave him the crate was actually, it allowed him to play the Switch with his daughters and she said that it was just such a monumental impact to him to be able to get that crate and be able to reconnect with his daughters. So I thought that's a really great question, and it's one of my favorite stories.
Dave 25 has asked if you ever watched wrestling or sports.
Once upon a time, I was a wrestling fan back in the WWF days, long time ago. Now it's I watch some NFL. I pay attention to my my fantasy football, and that's pretty much it.
What's your favorite teams?
Unfortunately, the Bears.
What is your favorite stack up program and why? Good question.
My favorite stack up program is probably our Air Assault program. And the Air Assault program is where we take a disabled or deserving veteran or group of veterans and we fly them to a really cool event, like all expenses paid, VIP. We put them up in a hotel. We'll take, pay for them to eat, get them into a convention like Comic-Con. We'll take them to Comic-Con. We'll let them see the show floor. We'll get them into things early. We'll get them to see if we have the opportunity to meet celebrities, we'll get them to do that as well. And that's kind of like a once in a lifetime, really cool event for those veterans to give them something that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to have. And some of those veterans might have thought that they couldn't have had that because of their anxiety or their PTSD or their depression, but we give them the safe space and allow them to access that event. So that's probably my favorite program.
Ask if he plays Xbox or PlayStation.
I have a PlayStation. I generally watch Netflix on it, so I don't really play many PlayStation games anymore. I'm a PC gamer for the most part, but that's part and parcel of, when I sit here, also being a content creator at, previous life. This was all developed to be a streaming setup.
Yeah. What, by the way, did you see that they have a new Call of Duty beta coming out this weekend?
Yeah, today. Yeah, today people are playing it right now. They're streaming it right now.
All right. Coin actually asked, what kind of events do we send air assaults to? Just conventions or other things too?
Yeah, very good question. Thanks, Coin. We send them to, if you ever heard of PAX, Penny Arcade Expo, got PAX West, PAX East. We used to have PAX South. That one's gone, I think, now. But those types of events, we've never done that. But it's on the list. Everything's on the list. But we've also done not just the PAXs. We've done E3 when E3 was happening live, which I think is going to happen live again, as well as Comic-Cons. We've done Chicago Comic-Con, Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle, San Diego Comic-Con, the big one there. Anything that we can get vets to. That is a kind of a really cool type of thing. We also have our new Phalanx house, which I don't know, Jake, if you've seen that, but we have a very nice mansion that we have in Van Nuys, California. That is a gamer's mansion. It's literally
I haven't seen that yet.
It's video games everywhere. There's PCs everywhere. There's consoles everywhere. There's VR. We got a pool in the background. We got a tavern in the back to play Dungeons and Dragons. So that's where we can take veterans to relax as well as kick back there too. So it's kind of like a mini air assault.
By the way, Coin's got a question.
Sure.
If a vet is nominated as disabled, what sort of things does Stack Up do to accommodate their disabilities when building crates or arranging air assaults?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure about the crates, but I know that Dave Kraus, who's our director of veteran services, if there was something to be accommodated for, I'm pretty sure Dave would exhaust as many resources as he can, whether it was a accessible gaming pad. Dave, who is also an amputee, as well as he's lost an eye. He's a Marine that had some ordnance explode, and that is something that he is near and dear to his heart. As accessibility gaming as well. So I think that there's he would probably exhaust every option trying to make that work if that was a request. And then at events that we go to, we've had disabled veterans, we've had service dogs. We'll make whatever accommodation that we can.
Oh, does Stack Up work with veterans from other countries?
True story. That is actually true. We are not just a U.S. based. We're U.S. based, but we support our allies as well. So when I was in Iraq, when I was in Kuwait and Iraq, we had the Germans, the Poles, the UK militaries all there fighting with us. And when I was in Afghanistan, we had the Dutch, we had the Brits again, and basically, if you're a veteran of an allied nation, we don't have a corner of the market of mental health issues. All veterans that have served in combat have seen things that they probably. Just because you're a U.S. veteran doesn't mean that you have the only perspective on that. So other veterans from Canada, Canadian military, UK military, German military, they've seen some of the same things that we have. So we treat them we treat them the same as we do U.S. veterans.
Yeah. Gabby 21 says, what was the longest you was away for?
13 months. That was 13 months. And then if you count the 6 months that I spent at Fort Hood, which is also a foreign country, and I never want to go back there, then it'd be like a year and a half. But 13 months was what I had spent in Afghanistan without coming back. I went to Ireland in the middle.
I have a question for you. Have you ever been to Walter Reed?
I have not, but I know Dave. I think Dave recovered at Walter Reed and then has from his injuries. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I'm right. But he has also been back there because we service veterans at Walter Reed or in other military hospitals. Because sometimes we can send a supply crate where veterans are recovering from their injuries because that might be a benefit to them.
Sorry about that. Sorry to hear that. That was just a text message telling me they got a package at the mailbox that I gotta go pick up. By the way, he said thank you for your service. He said over a year down. Sorry for the language.
You're fine.
Said, was he for the war again? Want to answer that?
No, I have no interest in answering questions that like devolve around the political stuff. Just because my perspective is my perspective, and it's changed over time, and it's something that we don't want to hem and haw over.
Mrs. East is Spags Fort Hood is a whole other country.
It is a whole other country, and it is a big ass base. It is huge. It's a huge military installation.
I want to ask about Walter Reed is because we hear stories about Walter Reed, about people doing stuff for Walter Reed. People like, the band Jackal went there, and there was a guy who lost both his legs because I forget the guy's name. He was on the show The Gator Boys. He was on Full Throttle Saloon. He lost both his legs. And one of his dreams was to fight a gator. I forget the guy's name. Someone's got to have to look it up.
You wanted to fight a gator?
He wanted to fight a gator. He was an amputee. He was a triple amputee. I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry. I forget names. Gabby said,
"No, that's okay.
Thank you for the service. My father was in the military as well. He was in the Navy."
That's awesome. I appreciate his service. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm actually having fun doing this interview. I thought I was gonna be. I thought I was gonna have to I was nervous because I have a tendency of not saying the right things.
Oh, you're good. I told you you're gonna be just fine. You kept saying you were nervous. I'm like, this is easy stuff, man.
Yeah.
This is you should be in your mode. Your mode right now.
Did you see about what Ms. Kiff?
I'm sorry.
A guy there's a streamer named Ms. Kiff who had to step down from OTK because of sexual SA allegations.
I have not. A lot of the streamer drama I don't get to follow, and unless it enters into our realm or start protecting our people.
Coin is asking a lot of good questions. Stack Up has local outreach programs like the Stacks. What sort of things do they do?
That is a great question. Stacks, Jake, are our volunteer arm. So we have people that are around the U.S. and other countries as well that volunteer to do stuff. I remember before we started the show, you asked if we were Earth friendly or if we did anything, within that realm. Well, during the pandemic, we actually had people that were out doing police calls. We went out for Earth Day. We'll do community service. We'll clean stuff up. We'll host game nights. They'll do online game nights as well as local gatherings. They'll run small booths. They'll educate people about our programs. There's quite a bit that the Stacks will do as a volunteer organization. And on our website, you can go to our website, look at the Stacks program, and you'll find a map of all the different Stack locations.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coin.
Hey, how would someone get involved with a local Stack? Coin.
That's a great question. They would go right to the website. I just mentioned on the website, you can go see the map. On the map, you'll be able to click on that and see who the Stack lead is for that area if you're looking at that area. If there isn't one there, you can send a web inquiry to Stack Up through our website, and that'll get filtered to our community manager, Liz Finnegan, and she'll help everybody. She'll help anybody learn how to set up a Stack.
Yeah. I just want to say to everybody, thank you guys. Thank you to Stack Up for sending someone who's knowledgeable about this to this show, because I know we're not ending soon. We're not ending. I just want to say a really big thank you to Stack Up for sending somebody that knows their stuff about Stack Up.
I'd like to think I do, but we're a pretty close knit organization. I think that part of what I've done over the last 6 years or so, being a volunteer and then somebody who now works for Stack Up, is not just be an advocate, but be somebody who can educate folks on the programs that we have.
We have another question. Mrs. E says, I saw something called Call to Arms on the Stack Up website. What is that?
Call to Arms, that is what we call our fundraising campaign all year long. So we're in Call to Arms 7 this year. You right now, with your link, you're participating in Call to Arms this fall.
In the description,
so you've got that link.
Yep. Let me go in and get that link for you guys. I don't have a bot up for YouTube yet, and I'm hoping to get that bot set soon, so I don't have to do link drops and stuff. Whoa! Oh, we got a $20 donation from Serious Nas.
Hey, look at that! Thank you, Nas. Appreciate you. Look at you.
I'm doing good. Thank you, Serious Nas. Guys, if there's the link right there, guys. Hold on. There's the link, guys. If you guys want to donate, just go in. I just want to also say that Stack Up is a great thing. I love what Stack Up is doing, and I love what we're doing. Thank you guys so much.
No, thank you, man. We need people like you. We need people like you that are out here on their platforms talking about what we do, fundraising for us, and letting people learn about what the programs are. You never know how many veterans you have in your community that don't know what programs we offer and what they can take advantage of.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you guys so much. Let me go and do a... Hold on. I'm actually sending a thank you to Nas for what he did. What is it, a he or her?
It's a he.
It's a he. All right. I'm calling Salt. I can't say it right.
Oh, it's seriously Nas.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy.
Coin says, I like your jacket, Deity. Is there Stack Up merch I can buy, or do the funds go toward helping fund the programs too? And do the funds.
If it's about the store, yes, we do have a store. You can get on the web store and you can get all sorts of things.
Stackup.org/store.
Oh, Nas just dropped it in there. Thank you, Nas, and appreciate the donation to Jake.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the store you can go buy T-shirts. I think we have the Rex plushies, like I've got right behind me here. Got a Stack Up Rex plushie. Those are on the store. The jacket is not on the store. This is like it took me, I don't know, like 2 years working for Stack Up to get my jacket. So, it's a very nice. I take it everywhere with me. I rep everywhere I go.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what is the origin of Rex?
If I recall correctly, and this is, I was not there. If I recall correctly, it was it might have been E3 or it might have been a PAX, but they happened to have a Rex, and somebody jumped into the Rex suit and put a T-shirt on it, and they were at the booth, and that's it. So Rex became a thing. It literally just like the Big Bang happened out of nowhere, and there it was, and now it's our stream team mascot. So anybody that's streaming for Stack Up, that's our mascot.
Yeah. I have a really nice Stack Up hoodie.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're not doing hoodies anymore for people that fundraise for us, because they're too bulky and they're way too hard to pack up and ship out. Yeah. They take quite a bit of room. So yeah. And as a charity, we're trying to save money on every chance we get. So we're gonna go with T-shirts from now on.
By the way, is Stack Up having to worry about the inflation?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's something that we've dealt with all year long. We're a charity, so we rely on the goodwill of others and the fundraising grants, and things like that. And so this is a tough year for a lot of people. Inflation has hit a lot of families, a lot of households, and so that means that they don't have a lot of disposable income to donate.
Last week I talked. My food bill used to be $100 a month. Now it's like $150 a month. My food bill every month.
Hopefully we'll see some relief there. Hopefully that it can't stay bad forever, right? It's always there's got to be good news on the other side.
By the way, what do you think? By the way, I think we got another question. Guys, I'm sorry, I got so many notifications running right now.
You're good.
Does Stack Up have any fun plans for Christmas?
We do Christmas for me is usually my it's over because November is over and I get to relax. But we do what's called Home for Holidays and 100 Heroes. We try to catch veterans who are home for the holidays or somewhere within our sphere of influence. We do our supply crates, and we try to do about 100 supply crates every December, as well as a couple of other little events that we run around.
What is Call to Arms Live?
Call to Arms Live is something that we do every November. We have content creators that play games and raise funds for us during that day in a mock bracket, and they're on our live stackup.org channel. And we've done that in person in some years, but with COVID, it's been a little bit harder. So now this year and the last 2 previous years, we've done them virtually. But it's a really cool event that takes place all day long on Veterans Day, and we fundraise and people have a lot of fun. Thanks for the questions, guys. Very, very helpful.
Yeah, but it's also the final fundraising push, so often a busy time for influence relations managers.
Tis true. Tis true. This is right now. This is what's the? I don't want to curse on your channel, but
it's okay. I do it out to.
What do they say? Assholes and elbows. We're running like crazy. Is how we're trying to get. We're trying to get as many people signed up as possible to do fundraisers.
Here's the thing. I'm a 18+ stream, but I try to be professional when it comes to Stack Up, because I know Stack Up has a little bit of family friendly in there. So I try to watch my language, and I do a few of these things. But Sorry.
Well, we're also working with a lot of veterans, and veterans are not unaccustomed to harsh language and curse words. Unfortunately, we've spent most of our careers around, even if you're just around military folks. So we know that those words exist, and we've used them on occasion. So we're not offended.
If you watch my older streams, I do curse a little bit. So I've actually have told few people what I thought of them.
Oh wow!
But
well, please don't tell me what you think of me then.
I think you're a good person.
Well, thank you, Jake.
And the thing is, it's like you were the one that, this was the first time that when I wanted to have some reason why I do these interviews, the Here's the Thing interviews, is to meet awesome people and to show what people are awesome.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate you letting us talk about Stack Up and talk about veterans and mental health and suicide prevention. That's what it's all about.
Do you used to stream on Mixer?
No, actually, I streamed on Twitch. I was a full-time streamer on Twitch for about 2.5 years, full-time. I'd been on there for about 3 or 4 years, but I had almost made the decision to move to Mixer right before it exploded. So dodged a bullet there. So, and now I really don't stream very much.
Dave, we're not going to answer. I'm not going to answer that. And you want to answer that, or you want to?
If I mean, I don't mind that question. I don't mind answering. I'm for full legalization or decriminalization. I just think it's silly. But
Coin answered that question. Coin answered it. Oh, God damn it! My internet. Can you hear me?
You're good. Yeah, you're good to go, brother. We got you 5 by 5.
The internet is a little bit wonky. I have Wi-Fi. I'm using Wi-Fi for internet. But,
you're all good. Yeah, we got you.
Coin actually answered the question. Dave hasn't watched. Dave didn't even know I was streaming until when I told him.
Yeah, I don't have a problem answering that question. I think it's a archaic rule, and we've got more states that it's legal now than it's not, and we know that there's a lot of people that benefit from that, especially over opioid addiction and other things. So that's my personal opinion. My views are not the views of my employer, but that's my views, and my employer probably agrees.
And the thing is, it's like now it's like, I've had people in the past smoke weed on my show, on the Monday Night Jakes, Wednesday Night Jakes, Friday Night Jakes, and all that. So and the thing is, my niece, she does that. She smokes weed. Not gonna say the person who I live with, my roommate. But I know that people are going to say, "Oh, Jake, you're telling everybody's business. You're saying too much. I need to stop." Sorry.
You're fine, man. You got your limits.
Can you explain what your title, your name, or your job?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I am not the CEO. We have an executive director. Our executive director is Steven Machuga. I am an influencer relations manager. So my job entails working with the influence relations team that we have that looks for content creators, not unlike yourself, to do content creation and live streams for fundraising. What you're doing right now is part of what I do, as well as the education process parts of letting people know what Stack Up does and what we offer, educating streamers on those, as well as finding new people to support to do fundraising.
Yeah. What do you look in your influencers?
What do we look for in influencers?
Yes, yes, sir.
Looking for people that are interested in talking about what we do, and people that are going to be receptive to talking about military veterans, talking about mental health and suicide prevention. We do have people that we contact that will you do a charity event for us? And they're not comfortable talking about mental health on their platform or suicide on their platform. And so that's those are people that we obviously aren't going to work with. We'd love to work with anybody that has a platform and has an audience that wants to hear it.
Hey, Coin is asking, do you have to be scouted or can you volunteer yourself to do a charity event?
Another good question. You can volunteer yourself. You can get right online. You can go to Donor Drive, stackup.donorDrive.com. You can go to Tiltify. You can sign up. You can do it off of Twitch now. If you're a Twitch streamer, you can live stream through that. I think you can do it through Streamlabs. There's a lot of different ways to do that.
Streamlabs charity. Are you a diverse, all-exclusive company? If you know what that means.
I don't know what all exclusive means. We're diverse, and we're definitely we have a diverse group of folks that work for us.
Do you have to have military affiliation to work at StackUp?
No, we have a lot of in fact, some of our employees are not military or veteran folks. They're just people that want to support the military or support veterans.
I actually do a Facebook fundraiser also for StackUp too. I have it linked. You could link your. This is the fun part about StackUp, about that website is you could also use. You can also it will let you set up a fundraiser through Facebook.
Yep. Yes, it will.
Inclusive.
I'm glad you knew that.
Inclusive. All inclusive.
We are 100% in terms of like diversity and inclusion. I mean, we are an inclusive group.
Yeah. The guys, this is what before I can answer questions, the chat is answering the questions. Yeah.
I am appreciative of the folks that are in chat right now that are asking some great questions. So.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny is this, to me, I want to say that it's so funny that, by the way, we got like 8 minutes left before the hour. So if we want to, I want to ask, I got some questions. If you guys have any more questions, you're both doing amazing. How many employees, company-wide? How many employees? How many people work for StackUp?
I couldn't tell you on the volunteer side because literally would number in the over 1,000 based off of fundraise people that are doing Twitch fundraisers or stacks. But we would. I'm trying to think of how many permanent employees we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it remotely?
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's all remote. I think we have 10 or 11 employees now that are permanent, and then we have some folks that come on board seasonally to support the Call to Arms fundraisers. And as we've been growing every year, we've been growing our personnel as well. So we have more people right now than we have in previous years.
Sorry, I'm just checking. If you guys, by the way, I want to say thank you to Nas for that $20 donation. We do appreciate it here. I don't
was very
know.
kind of him.
Yeah. Chris on the page. Who's Chris? 11, including Chris, on the page.
Oh, on the page. I know what he's talking about. Yeah, because it's 11, but we've got other employees as well that are not full-time and that are not represented there, that are seasonal, that come on board for the process of...
He's asking if you want to work for the company.
We put out our positions. We have a careers page, so stackup.org/careers. So if there's ever anything posted there, that's where you could look for that. Yeah. Or follow our Twitter account, StackUp.org. You
got a question? Mrs. E, Coin and Mrs. E have some very good questions. Is StackUp involved with esports?
We have an esports coordinator now. So somebody who is on staff to help us coordinate, and they're actually associated with the Regiment GG, who is as far as I know, the largest military gaming community that's out there. I think there are over 10,000 folks strong right now, but they
Yeah.
work with a lot of the esports stuff, and so we do have an esports coordinator now, as well as just people who are just doing general small scale esports stuff on their own channels.
Hey, do you know a guy by the name of Rabbit Rick?
I don't.
The Rabbit Rick is a good person. He's been a good friend. And when I lost my dad, sorry, I'm talking about this.
That's okay.
Salty Nas put a link. That's the esports coordinator link. Is there a YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? Put them in chat if so. Do you guys have a YouTube channel, Instagram, or Twitter that
Yep.
people can follow?
Every one of them is StackUp DOTORG. You can find all of them with that, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or it's StackUp DOTORG. StackUp.org.
A lot of these people, this is a good show. Why was I nervous?
I don't know why you were nervous. I told you don't be nervous. I said this will be great, man. You know what you wanted to ask about. We had a great conversation.
All right, Nas. Nas says I'll post them.
Nas is on top of it, man.
Yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun talking to you because there's people who we see people. I have a lot of respect for Stack Up. There's the Instagram, the YouTube. Coin says you're doing great. This is great. This is going great. I have a friend named Plays Krieg a lot who's actually a Stack Up guy. I think his name is Jack. I forget his. I'm not gonna say his real name. Plays Krieg. He streams on twitch.tv/Plays Krieg. Use your words, Jake. Sorry, I get tongue-tied when I try to talk fast.
Me too. I'm a big stutterer.
Come on. If I don't know if you said this, but how do you get involved with Stack Up Coin?
How did I?
No,
originally?
how did you get involved?
Yeah.
I don't know
so long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, which was about 3.5 years ago, I came on board as an employee. But about 3 years before then, I was volunteering and doing fundraisers just like you're doing on my own channel.
Yeah.
So being a veteran who found out what was working for me to help me and my mental health, which was gaming, and then streaming was helping me as well. I was volunteering. I was part of their stream team. I did that for about 3 years. And then this position came open and I fused those two things together. And now I'm doing half of it. I'm not streaming anymore, but I'm on more people's channels than I am on my own. So,
what is your favorite game to play to de-stress from work?
Mrs. E knows what my favorite game is. She's asking so that I can say it out loud. I play Apex Legends, which I don't know if it's de-stressing or not because it's frustrating, but that's my game. That's my go-to game right now. She knows that.
By the way, quick question, what do you think about Tyler Blevins playing streaming on all platforms? Tyler Blevins, Ninja. Streaming on all platforms.
I think that it's regardless of Tyler Blevins, he's just the first one to really do it. But it's going to open up an ability, I think, for other content creators to stream across multiple platforms and get engagement that way. I think he's just the first one to be able to do it out of contract because he's got no contract that says he can't. Whereas when he left Twitch the first time, he broke his contract, I believe, and left to go to Mixer. Twitch had banned him at that point. I believe they are playing other people's channels on his channel. So that was odd. And then he was on Mixer for a while. Then Mixer exploded. And then, here we are back where we were before. And now he's going to be streaming on all platforms. Yeah. I think it's good for other content creators to see that.
Yeah. All right. We have about a minute left. Do you want to do your final thoughts and do your shout outs?
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate you putting this on, and Jake having us on and having me talk about Stack Up. Thank you for your interest in what we do, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you're going to have this archived VOD content for people to come back and look at and learn a little bit
Yeah.
about Stack Up. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for raising funds for our programs and what we do and taking up the call to arms. That's a big
By the
deal,
way,
man.
by the way, Nas, thank you for the $20 donation. We are now $25. We have $100 goal. We have $100 goal. Trying to get that. We're now need $75 more to hit that goal for Stack Up. And if you
Right
guys
on,
want
man.
to, if you guys watching this not live, it's in the description. I think I'm gonna end, guys. We could talk about it. We could talk later. I'm gonna just end. You could stay in and talk to me after I end, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. Like
All
I
right,
said, man,
guys.
I just want to say thank you to you. Thank you to your audience and the folks that are going to be watching. And I appreciate the fact that we both know each other now through Reanimator, which I think is pretty cool. So I'll have to give her a shout out there.
Yeah. Check out what's this? Twitter.
Stints Built. Stints Built is a company that we do our gaming PCs through. So when we do our custom built PCs for veterans, it goes through Stints Built.
Yeah, and I want to say, guys, really big thank you to Stack Up and to Sean and to a lot for coming on and agreeing to doing this show. I'm just a good old boy I'm a good old country boy from the great state of Mississippi. And thank you. Someone asked. All right. Thank you for watching. Peace, love, and cornbread, y'all. Remember, DI means SOL, and always, I love you guys. Bye. All right. Don't